All right, guys, I have Zachary Klein here with me at the International Conference on Creationism, and I'm super excited for you guys to just hear a little bit from Zachary. So tell me just briefly about yourself. Where are you from, and how did you get into biblical creationism?
Yeah, thank you, Caleb. So I am from St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm on the board of the Missouri Association for Creation.
Awesome.
So we're a creation apologetics and outreach group out of St.
Yeah.
Louis, and we do a lot of things over there. We do tours of the St. Louis Zoo. We do some field trips. I'll be doing a field trip actually this weekend, looking at some ice age and flood geology. And I kind of got into creation. I think 2018 was my first time at the ICC, so the last conference out in Pittsburgh. And that was kind of a crash course introduction to the world of creation research and learning about all the different movers and shakers and some of the ideas that were out there. And so my passion has always been geology and the flood in particular. And I don't live anywhere. I'm not near all the great canyons and volcanoes that you guys have out in the rugged West. But where I live in St. Louis, we do have our own share of geology. And so, I've been just kind of learning the lay of the land and trying to understand some of the marine fossil and sedimentary systems that we have. Trying to kind of understand them, of course, in light of the biblical flood, and trying to really get put some meat on the bones, right? So instead of just saying this is all flood, I want to say, well, here's a layer and here's a story I can tell you about it that relates to the flood and something that's based on real evidence. So that's kind of been that's my research focus right now. Really is just trying to see what's in my backyard and what the rocks have to say if we're looking at them correctly.
That's awesome. That's exciting, and geology is one of my favorite subjects. Those who follow the channel, that's most of the videos. I'm sure the other sciences probably, or those who follow and want to hear from the others, are eager to hear more. So you also presented a poster this year, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. So tell me some more about that.
Yeah, this is the first ICC to have a poster session.
Really?
Which has been phenomenal, I think. There's a number of really good posters out there in the hall. And the whole premise is it's essentially you submit an abstract and it gets reviewed and accepted, and you produce this visual representation of your research. And it's a little bit lower of a bar to clear than a full paper. But it gives you a chance to get some quick ideas out there or some research that's in progress and get feedback and have a chance to interact with people. So I've got a poster over there on orthocone nautiloid fossils. So I don't know if you've done if you've talked maybe on the channel already about Steve Austin's work in the Grand Canyon.
We haven't yet. That's on the agenda.
You should definitely line that up. So Dr. Austin did some great work in the Redwall limestone, where he documented a bed of nautiloid fossils, over a billion of them, he estimates. And based on the orientation of the fossils and the direction they're pointing in the limestone, he was able to make a really good case that this limestone was laid down very quickly. Which is against conventional wisdom. Limestone is supposed to be a rock that forms in calm water, still water, and that takes a long time to accumulate on the ocean floor.
Right.
And so what we've got in not too far from where I live in St. Louis, it looks like we have a similar type of feature where we've got a bed of limestone. It's not Steve Austin's; it's a different formation. We're in Ordovician rocks up there in Missouri.
Okay. Now, for those who aren't familiar, where would that fall on the flood geology timescale?
Oh, sure,
pretty early.
So it would be earlier in the flood.
Okay.
Yep. So a little above the Cambrian. So if you think of that grade unconformity where we've got the first signs of global erosion. Sure. You've got the Cambrian, the Tapete sandstone. We have an equivalent of the Tapete sandstone in Missouri, and then you work your way up to the Ordovician, and it's a lot of limestone, a lot of shale, lots of good marine fossils.
Wow.
And this particular formation, it's called the Kimswick Formation, there's this one bed that we've been tracing. So on the poster, I'm very conservative. This is exactly what I found. I think that I've probably traced it about 100 miles. But I'm only documenting in the poster the part that I'm really sure about.
For sure.
But it looks to be a pretty persistent bed, similar to what Steve Austin found.
Wow.
And there are these orthocone, straight-shelled nautiloid fossils in there. And when we start measuring their orientations, we're starting to see a pattern. We're starting to see some consistency in the direction that these guys are pointing, which is an argument that, again, there was moving water, fast-moving water, laying down this limestone bed, and perhaps all of the limestone. So it's just a piece of the puzzle. It's just a small step forward. We still have to understand where is it going. I think I know the direction. Where does it end? Where did it begin? Can we tie this together with any other geologic events, upheavals that might have been happening around the same time? I've got some ideas, some possible kind of open ends for later research there on the poster. But that's really the basic premise, is that we can show that there's good evidence for rapid limestone out there in Missouri, just like we see in the Grand Canyon, just like we see in a lot of places. And I think that if we look at the evidence with the right mindset, and we're asking the right questions, these aren't the questions that a lot of geologists are asking when they look at these kind of rocks.
Different approach and models that they have.
Exactly. So asking different questions, looking at things carefully, and I mean, Lord willing, maybe we'll be able to tell a cool story someday.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing that. And,
thank you, Caleb.
I'm looking forward to hearing what kind of feedback you get throughout the rest of the week and
Absolutely.
the ongoing research. So thank you again, Zachary, for coming on
Thank you
real
so much
quickly.
for having me.
Yes, sir.